Hello everyone, welcome back to episode 4 of Tilly Talks. Today is going to be a bit different, but I think for everyone watching, it's going to be a really good lesson if you're a beginner on how to understand yourself better, how to just come in line with your higher self, and it's really good. So get your pen and paper, and we're going to start with introducing the ladies that I have today.
Hi guys, my name is Makayla.
Hi, I'm Constance.
Hi, I'm Zalayka.
So the books for inspo today is just going to be these two. So this one is Manifest by Roxy Nafusi, and this one is Prosperity Practices by Remington Donovan. I think they're really good for beginners just because they have parts where you can write down your own stuff, which is what we're going to be doing today. So the first question I have for you and for all of us is, what are you most excited or grateful about today? Do you want to start first?
Oh, sure. Should I start? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, today I'm grateful for, I had a lecture today, as did we all, well, including you, Makayla, sorry. But it was about the freedom of expression. And I think I'm really grateful to have a freedom of expression and to be able to have a freedom of speech and to be able to just wake up and go to uni. I think that's a privilege in itself, and to have such a good commute to school and just to be happy today, the small things. I'm grateful that my bus was running. I'm grateful there was no turbulences along the way. I'm grateful for the small things.
Yeah, I think I wrote just for having life in general. Do you know what I mean? Having roof under my head, obviously the obvious ones, and just being around really good people. I think it's very important just to surround yourself in a good environment and a learning environment. Like you said, just being grateful that we have access to things like this.
Mm-hmm.
I put that I'm grateful that I have such a lovely little home to go back to.
Yeah.
Because I put that I'm excited to go and like chill out after getting my uni work done. I just love that I have a little sanctuary, especially in the city. Like, it's so important.
I'm grateful for, like you guys said, my basic necessities, but also the opportunities I've been blessed with. I've been getting like a few like internships and stuff, but I guess I'm kind of grateful that the stress I have is to do with my future and career, not like if I need more money, if I need more food. Like, I think we take granted the kind of stress that we have in our life.
Yeah, that's a really good one. So for the next one, I want you to just think about someone that you really admire. Just write a few sentences about them and what you really like about them. It can literally be anyone, dead or alive, any of that. It can be anybody. It's a really hard one. Anybody want to go first, or should I?
I can start.
Okay.
So for me, it's my grandma. Whenever something like this question comes up, I always think her, because she came to the UK when she was 18, and if she didn't make the move, my life wouldn't be this way. And all the privileges I have in my life is because she sacrificed and she hustled when she came here.
Nice. Yeah, mine's the same. Like, not my grandma, but I always think of my mum when this question comes up, because she's like a full-time carer for my dad, and like, she's completely selfless and that's all she does, and yet she manages to like bring joy to everyone she interacts with, and she lives with such like, just joy, and just she's dedicated to being like jolly and happy.
Someone that's really stood out to me is through this Women in Leadership Colour course that I'm on. I met the head of education at UAL, Danielle Tran, and she was a very powerful presence because she holds her knowledge so high, yet she's so comedic and funny, and she can deliver presentations so effortlessly, and she's just very well spoken. So that's something I strive to be. Also, she had really like pretty gold nails, so that's going to be my next colour.
Shout out Danielle.
Danielle.
Right, we're going to get a bit artsy now. Everyone, draw a picture of what is in your mind right now. It can be literally anything. Literally anything. From your dinner down to your cat throwing up on your carpet. You know what's so weird as well? Like, when you're thinking about things, you're thinking about yourself thinking, but then you're thinking about yourself thinking about thinking.
It's the perpetual cycle of consciousness.
Yeah. Makayla, do you want to go first?
Yeah, mine's pretty simple. I was watching Captain America, the First Soldier, I think it's called. So I just have his shield in my mind. So, yeah, that's it.
Mine's just me on the tube with my book and my music, because that's just my favourite part of the day.
What did you draw?
Oh, my one's just some people sitting and laying down on the clouds. My cat's there also, but it's a terrible drawing. I think it's because the weather. I think it's because it's so sunny today.
Yeah.
It's a really nice day today. So yeah, that's why.
I drew a Victoria sponge just because it came in my mind. Eyelashes. I got my eyelashes today, and my nails because I keep looking at them because they distract me a lot. But yeah, just girl things, I guess. Okay, very simple one. How are you feeling today? You can just put one word or two. We don't even have to write it down. But just identifying, coming face to face with it. Okay, so I put just good because I'm not bad and I'm not terrible and I'm not amazing. I'm just in the middle, you know.
Yeah.
But also just because I'm grateful to see friends and family every day, just because I think it's, and again, like you mentioned, something people take for granted. Like I can wake up and see my dad every day, and I'm really grateful for that. So, yeah.
I'm feeling hopeful. We have a spring break coming up, so I'm really
Yes.
excited for that. Yay. And yes, going on to new things.
I'm feeling calm. Like yesterday I had a really good, like, a good therapy session where we, like, just cleaned some things up. So I'm just feeling quite peaceful, which is nice.
Yeah, so today I'm feeling quite happy because my mood is reflected in the weather. So it was
Yes.
blue sky, and because we're in London, that's not
Yes.
that's not an often
That's
thing.
another big thing. Like weather makes you feel
Yeah.
like, yeah.
It's the sky. The sky.
Yeah.
It tells us everything.
I
Yeah.
felt good. I saw the sun. I was like, yay.
Like a little flower, just like.
Yeah.
Okay, so moving on to the last part of the wellness exercise, how are you helping yourself with coping with hard stuff? You can just write a few sentences about when things just feel like there's no end. I know a lot of the time we always just feel like we're going to be in this state forever, and it's really not true, because there are good moments, but you just never think that when you're in those type of states. Constance, do you want to go first?
Mine's fairly simple, just like being patient with myself. Like I went through a breakup at the beginning of the year, and I get frustrated sometimes that the healing isn't like linear or easy,
Yes.
but that's just proof that I'm actually doing it right, not just going back to old habits, or like breaking cycles is never going to be simple. So just being patient.
Yeah, definitely. I saw like a lady on TikTok. She actually done like a visual representation of what like rebranding yourself is like, and it really made sense to me, because when I'm in like this new era of my life, I'm like, why do I keep getting like these thoughts about old stuff that I don't want to remember anymore? And to explain it very quickly, she got a glass cup, right? And she put ping pong balls in there, and the ping pong balls represent old things and things you don't like and breakups and old friendships. And then the jug of water was new beginnings. So she poured the jug of water into the glass, and the ping pong ball just came out. That's why it resurfaces before it goes away completely.
That's nice.
And ever since I saw that, I was like, okay, I understand it now.
Yeah, you have to like give it permission to be let go. So
What did you write, Zalayka?
Oh, first of all, Tilly, I love that visual metaphor that you gave. That was a very positive outlook on how to get like well of things. But for me, I put not letting yourself like build up or well up of a certain negative emotion, which for me is usually anger. I don't really often get sad. I usually get sad when someone tells me something that's not nice, but usually anger is mostly inflicted upon myself, honestly. But I think addressing the issue face front and not letting it pent up, that's definitely something. And also surround yourself with other people when you're feeling that certain way, because you are you when you're around other people, and it's like your emotion, it all reside when you're with other people, surrounding yourself with a different environment. Because when you're in that cycle of your own thinking patterns and your own emotions, it's only going to get worse from there. There's no betterment there.
Right. I wrote actually like going and sitting with my dad in the living room watching TV. I think associate for me, like when I go back to things that I find comfort in, it makes me feel a bit better, just because knowing that I have my dad here, like there's a certain, like with parents or like guardians, you know, like you just feel a bit safer. And I think just going back to that and coming off my phone, obviously, and just doing things that I enjoy, but also I think I'm doing better with knowing that these type of things that I'm feeling, they're not forever. As cliche as it sounds, it's very true.
Time. Time is the best healer.
It's easy to like lose sight of that as well and think this is gonna how it's gonna be forever, but everything just passes.
Exactly.
Yes.
What did you write? Okay.
For me, I see a lot on TikTok that women, we have 2 cycles. Like the one when we wake up in the morning and our menstrual cycle. So always before my period, I get really emotional.
Yeah.
And things that I could deal with, it's so much more harder. So tracking my period and making sure I know, oh, this is like the week before, I can be like, okay, I'm just a bit more emotional. Not that I can't deal with it, and not that it's hard necessarily, but it's just my body acting up. So then I can understand my emotional state and my thoughts a little bit better. Like, it's not my fault, basically, even. It's my body's fault. Yeah.
100%.
Exactly. Speaking of like just understanding ourselves, for the next exercise, there's going to be 4 different types of questions just to fill out. And the whole point of this exercise, like it says in the paper, people can't see, but like it says in the paper, visualizing who you want to become. And I was saying earlier on, you can't start new beginnings if you don't know what to, you need to learn these things to learn not to do it next time. So, for example, if you don't go to the gym as much as you want to, identifying that you don't go to the gym enough makes you get up and start going more often. And it's just things just as low as that. So identifying habits that you have and you want to change, just knowing that you have it as a habit helps you take the next step to get rid of it and just start new. So for the first question, it is, how do you feel about yourself and how kind are you to yourself? And like, what do you love the most about your new higher self? Okay, I really like this question just because of how much I have to say about it. But definitely for, as of like more recently, setting new boundaries, learning like when I don't like something, I'm not going to entertain it anymore and I'm just going to just stop it right there. Do you know what I mean? And a lot of people find that really hard to do just because of the outcomes and all that kind of stuff. And I'm so past that kind of thing. So I'm really happy with that within myself. Also, I said just reminding myself just to be a bit more nicer to myself. Like I said, like we're all very young and we never stop learning. And as we are on our journey of self-discovery, also another thing, like just comparing yourself to other people is like really, it's really unhealthy thing to do. Especially like, for example, if you see someone with a nice body shape and that's your ideal body shape and you say, well, I don't look like that. Like I want to look like her and I'm never going to get like that. Speaking to yourself in that kind of way, first of all, doesn't make it you immediately have that body shape. Do you know what I mean? And also just you don't know what that person has been through. You don't know their journey, comparing your, and then you don't even know that there could be people comparing themselves to you. There's so much to unpack with this kind of stuff. So just learning just to stay content with yourself and be happy with who you are is really important. Yeah.
Mine, I've like in the last few months realised that I am my own greatest teammate. Like at the end of the day, it's going to be just me.
Yeah.
And I've got to learn to build the resources, but also, similarly to you, just being kind to myself, remembering that inside all of us is the tiny versions of us when we were little. Like you have to look after them because they're still in there.
That makes me so emotional when I think about that.
Same, honestly.
Yeah, and just doing things that would make her proud and make her feel safe as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you write, Makayla?
I said coming out of my comfort zone more and leaving the house. I'm quite introverted, which a lot of people don't believe, but I really hate leaving the house. Like, so I'm trying to become a yes person. Like today, I really considered saying no to coming, but I was like, why not? I just want to like take action in my life. You can't change things in your life by staying at home. You change things in your life by leaving the house and having new experiences and meeting new people. Like I've loved meeting you guys today. It's just good to hear about what other people are doing. So I just like that I'm saying yes more, basically.
That's really important. What did you say, Zalayka?
Firstly, I like to address, like, it's a lot easier to say negative things about yourself, which I default do. So I really appreciated what you said, Constance, about being your greatest teammate, because I feel like we all have an inner saboteur, and sometimes that can take over, and then do you bad. But I do like my assertiveness. I think I've tried to be strong in my views and have passion, because some people are going to put you down, but everyone's different. Everyone's got their own opinions. So yeah, be passionate and don't be unrelentingly passionate and unapologetically passionate. Yes.
Yeah,
That's what
so
it is.
moving on, what do you do to look after yourself? So with like setting these new rules in your mind, like what do you do to keep them, and how do you like just look after yourself, like treating yourself, just getting nice food or a takeaway, or down to reading a nice book about like this manifestation and treating yourself nicely? Like what do you do to unwind, to make yourself feel good? Just anything. So I think I speak for most people when I say, first of all, laying in bed. I'm at my most comfortable when I'm in bed. I just want my bed. Like, you know, just like those times, like I just like being in my bed. I associate it with comfort again. And also speaking to my family about my achievements. I think when you speak to someone that you admire so much about what you do, and then they really appreciate it, it just feels like, you know, like the sparkle sound effect. It just feels so great. And it just makes me want to keep going. And being around inspiring people makes me want to keep going. And also, to end on that, only engaging and associating with things that you enjoy and that you want to do. So, yeah.
I feel like with me, I crochet, so it's more of a handcraft, and that for me is like quite meditative practice. It's very therapeutic going through every thread and stuff. But like talking to someone that you know is proud of you and would appreciate the things that you've done. I think like talking to my mum, it's just so good just to tell her all the stuff that I've been doing, because it makes you feel good having someone be happy for you genuinely.
Yeah.
I completely agree with that. And for me, I've been trying to put my energy and my time into people who care about me and who appreciate what I'm doing and will just be encouraging rather than sort of spreading their negativity onto me. But also, in the last few months, I've been trying to just be on my phone less and read more and feel like I'm doing, you know, expanding my knowledge and just getting off my phone.
Yeah.
Yeah. The biggest thing for me is meditation. I've come to really enjoy it a lot. And I find when I'm meditating actively, like at least 20 minutes a day, I'm able to be more mindful of my thoughts, and therefore my mind is just calmer, I'm happier, and therefore I can put less stress on my body. But it can be hard to actually find the time to meditate because you're so used to being like, your mind being engaged with something, whether it's your phone or whether being with your friends. So sometimes I think it's boring, but it's just so beneficial for me. So that's what I like to do.
So in the third one, I just want you to identify things that you may deal with not so healthily. So we was just talking about how we associate with good things to help make ourselves feel better, but what about like the negative sides that are probably not as good for us? I really hope any of you guys or nobody at home has put crying. I really hope not.
Why not? Crying is good. It's an emotional release.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
So
no,
I don't want
saying
people
it's
to
bad.
say that it's bad.
Oh, yeah.
I don't. I hope like nobody's put. I cry a lot. Like,
Yeah,
so
if you
what?
don't cry, it leads to like health issues. Like,
does anyone want to start on what they said? Just because I feel like I only have one.
I can start.
Yeah.
So for me, it's like we were discussing earlier, I fall asleep really easily, like 5 minutes. So if I want to avoid any of my issues, I'll just sleep straight away. And it's not that sleeping is bad, but I can like take naps and then still go to sleep. So like I could sleep up to like 16 hours a day instead of addressing the
Must
problem.
be nice, first of all.
It's like a double-edged sword. Like it's good to get sleep, but at the same time, because when I sleep, there's like a direct, like there's a disconnect as soon as I wake up. So I could be feeling an emotion. Once the sleeps happen, you've dropped in and out of consciousness. I just don't deal with it. So it just like, yeah. And then my other one, which is a bit also weird, is reading excessively. Like when I want to avoid issues, I'll read like, I remember once I read like 5 books in 1 week. So I'm just not present in my mind at all. I'm just thinking about the books I'm reading, so nothing gets dealt with. And I still feel as shit as I did before I read the book. So it's just like extreme escapism for me. That just leads me to not being present at all in my mind and in my body.
This is why also it can't be done with every single thing, but this is why it's also really good to write stuff down before you sleep.
Yeah.
Just to, because it's proven that it gets it out of your system when you write down all of these problems that you have, but things that are quickly solving, not like just crazy stuff. But yeah, anybody else?
Yeah, similarly, I'll often distract myself by like reading or just disengaging my brain, but also I often over intellectualize my problems. Like I really break them down almost in a scientific way rather than just letting my emotions do what they need to do. Like I'll really analyze my issues as if I'm a sort of outside observer, which just doesn't let my emotions get out when they need to. Yeah. And I also used to just smoke a lot of weed as like I just numb the feelings, and then I realized that wasn't really working, so changed my ways a little bit.
Zalayka?
Definitely comparing yourself. I mean, the digital age of social media has made that very easy. It's inevitable to compare yourself, but also seeing age or viewing age as like a time constraint. I have to do this by I turn 19, and if I think about my birthday, I'm going to cry.
Yeah.
So that's something I should deal with, and yeah.
Yeah, I said just like similar to Constance, like just drinking. Just because I don't drink a lot, but sometimes there was like this phase where I was really stressed in sick form, and I was 18, but I used to just drink, and then I would just feel like really giddy, and that's how I get when I drink a bit. So then I'd have to wake up the next morning and I'd be like, oh, it's still there.
Yeah.
And I think it's really just not good to do that, because people around you are starting to notice as well, like Tilly, like you can't, this is not a good way to deal with these problems. But I think comparing yourself as well is definitely an issue for me, but as long as you're learning like how to deal with it better, there's no rush and there's no like, it's not a bad thing. We're all just like human, like I said. So knowing these, like just again, like identifying these issues, is there any ways that you turn around and just kind of debunk and just get rid of, just because it doesn't serve your higher self anymore? Constance, do you want to start?
Yeah, I realised that I was spending too much time with people who are very negative, and they would always find the worst about a situation, or always find time to sort of bitch about people or whatever, and realising that it's not how my brain works. That's not how I want to. Yeah. It's not the energy I want to be receiving, because you do just lap up people's energy. And then going back to my last point, like not smoking weed at any minor inconvenience. Like it just made such a difference, because I would just like smoke and all my anxiety would just go immediately. But obviously it's not a long-term fix. Yeah. Like, and it just, but I'm proud to say I've been able to stop doing that every day. So.
Yeah, I'm similar, but instead of like, I could just go out with my friends at night and just have like a drink, but instead I replace it with going to the gym at night, just replacing it with just things that I know that are going to serve me better in the long term. And just not associating myself with just anything bad, like you said as well, bad people. It really does rub off on you. So just being around really good people and people that know they're trying to do better for themselves, it's really good. Makayla?
So for me, a big reason why I sleep a lot is because if I have anxiety, the sleep just gets rid of it. So instead of not dealing with it, I like to do breathing exercises. I do this one for like 10 minutes, and it really does get rid of not all, but it does get rid of like the physical symptoms, like the nausea for me, or like or like the excessive thinking. So then I'm able to understand what's triggered these physical reactions in my body a bit more, and understand what I'm going through a bit better. And then, like I said before, meditating regularly. You can't just do it once. It has to be quite regular, because then I notice during the day I'm more present in my body, my mind is clear, and I'm more calmer in general. And that way, life is just better in general.
Yeah, exactly. I meditate as well here and there. I do it when I wake up, and I start with a gratitude one. So I just say what I'm grateful for today, and then when I go to bed, just pushing out anything, instead of, usually people would write down their thoughts, but instead like I just do it through thoughts and just speaking it out loud. I think meditation is really good, especially for those with anxiety as well. But Zalayka, did you write anything?
I'd say like strategically placing my energy with things that align with my values, and just like being mindful of the bad things that can come, and just being reflective in the moment and be like, hey, let me not waste my time doom scrolling or something, and let's just actually do something productive that's going to benefit me in the long term, or maybe when I wake up.
Yes. So everyone, you've sworn by it now. So I have a treaty, basically,
What am I signing?
of everyone.
Thank you.
You just sign just to always do better for yourself. So I commit to implementing the 4 changes listed because I recognize that to create change, I must be the change. I commit to this because I am worthy and deserving of unlocking the most empowered version of myself that exists. Enter sparkle sound effect. Right, everybody sign.
What's the date?
Who's got the date?
Right, the date is 14th. 14th of March. We are whizzing through March, by the way.
I
Just
know.
a side note.
Too quick.
But I mean, don't waste time. Do not
Yeah.
waste time.
But also take your time.
Yeah.
No rush, but like,
Yeah.
Okay, so that's all signed. And for the last part of this, just write a love letter to yourself. We know what we like. We know what we don't like. Just write a few sentences on what you love about yourself. Well done, Zalayka, for doing that today. Well done, Constance, for waking up and getting up out of bed. Well done, Makayla, for getting all that good sleep, because I'm jealous.
Right? Me too. Like 5 books. Like how many books can you read? That's
Yeah.
so cool.
It was during COVID, and it was Dramani fan fiction, and I was just whizzing through it, and I realized that I've not done anything else. I would wake up, read.
there's worse things to do.
Yeah, there's nice things to do, but yeah, I'm not going to Hogwarts, so I think I should stop.
I actually did something similar for my last birthday. I wrote myself a birthday card because I always write my
that's so
friends lovely
cute,
birthday
yeah.
cards, tell them what I love about them, and I was like, why not do one for myself? So, especially if you have struggles with birthdays, I recommend doing that.
I did buy a birthday card for myself, and it's actually quite cute. It's like a bunch of dinosaurs, and there's one left out, and it was like, who brought the herbivore? Because I'm vegan, so it's like the dinosaurs. Yeah.
That's so cute.
So I think a big part of my love letter is just patting myself on the back for completing the goals, because, like, you just, maybe a couple of months ago, you saw yourself in the position of somebody else, and now you are in that position. Like, you the position that you're in right now, you once wished for. Do you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
So just giving yourself a pat on the back for staying consistent, being present, even getting up. People like, it's big to some people and smaller to other people, but just doing the things that you didn't expect to do, pushing myself out of my comfort zone is something that I'm getting myself really used to, being comfortable with being uncomfortable sometimes, and I never regret it most of the time. So I come back to myself and I'm saying, well, what did you do all that for? Just to enjoy it in the end. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Did you write anything, Makayla?
Yeah, so I said, love who you are and don't wish to be anyone else. I often struggle with my personality in social settings. So I want, you come home and you overthink everything you said. But people love you for who you are, regardless of how you think you come across. And most of the time it's just in your head. So I just said I need to just love myself for me. And then recently I've been having a lot of success, but with my career and stuff and jobs. So I just want to say relish in it, because I'm struggling a bit with my schedule and will I have enough time for self-care, but my future self will be happy that I did what I did, so that when I'm trying to get jobs or when I'm trying to be who I want to be later, hopefully more success will come.
Yeah, this just goes back to being more kinder to yourself, because you are your biggest critic, and you never see yourself how other people see you as well.
Yeah.
Like, you don't even know. So, Constance, would you like to?
Yeah, I said, you're brave and clever and admire how you stand your ground. You prioritise kindness, and that's impressive.
Absolutely.
Especially in times like this, when people are just so easily, they give in to their negativity bias, and people kind of think it's cool to be grumpy. I said, keep up the good work.
Yeah. Zalayka?
I wrote, always have compassion, because you should always be compassionate for the animals, for the earth, for your friends, for not strangers, but for nice people.
No, but maybe for strangers, because you never know what someone's going through.
Yeah.
Right.
Just always have that consideration.
Yeah.
And most people are good people
Yeah.
rather than being evil. So
Treat people how you want to be treated.
Right, exactly. Well, that's just ending it on a really nice note. I just feel really like, I feel so happy. It's so great. Thank you everyone for coming. I really appreciate it. I handpicked very carefully just because I know that you would do a great job.
Yeah.
Because this is what I mean when I say you never know who's watching. I observe. I'm an observer. So great ladies to bring on the show.
Yeah.
Thank you everyone for watching. I hope like it really did change your perspective on these kind of things, and also just not to just look after your body, to look after your mind as well. It's so important. So I hope everyone's inspired to go and write a journal right now. I expect everyone to send me on their Instagram them writing it down. Thank you so much for joining, and would you like to say bye?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Bye.